How should children be disciplined or controlled? Should they be hit?
Somebody answered the question. Now, I wouldn't just say children should be hit, because we have become a very violence-prone people.
I've already done a video speaking about this. I will be doing another video responding to this. I've gotten so many comments because of my comment on this video. Before I even recorded a video about this specifically, I've gotten so many comments because of my comment on this video. It disturbs me that so many of our black people have become so conditioned, and they've accepted this habit of physical abuse as a form of discipline. I don't care if it's Louis Farrakhan, I don't care who it is. I clearly stated in the comments, if you are physically abusing your child as a form of discipline, then you are failing as a parent. Anybody that wants to argue me on that, join me in a discussion about it.
It's time to tell it like it is.
Something I learned at a real young age is actions speak a lot louder than words. You might have some nice words for us right now, but I saw the pictures. I saw what you did to that child. And I won't say child, what you did to Adrian, an 8-year-old boy. I don't know how you could do that to someone that you claim you love. I see pictures all the time from homicide cases, people with holes in their head and their chest, sitting in puddles of blood, watch videos of people being stabbed. But these pictures were the worst I've ever seen. That is an 8-year-old child. Just to give everyone a little idea, and I noticed you talked about the boxing, but you didn't give any explanation to all those belt loop marks all over his lower body, maybe even 100 of them. I mean, that's how many. His entire lower body was covered in belt loops where you had beaten him, and as Ms. Tim stated, even in the growing area. What is wrong with you? How can you do that? So I agree with Ms. Timms. I wish I could sentence you to life. I think it's well deserved. But as Mr. Wheeler pointed out, parties have reached an agreement, and I know they negotiated hard, and I am going to respect the agreement that they've reached. And I am.
Man, yeah, he should get life. Some people are saying that he shouldn't get life. This 8-year-old is gone. He should be gone as well. That's how a lot of people are feeling. Just as Louis Farrakhan stated,
we have become a very violence-prone people.
We are a violence-prone people. We have these habits that we have developed stemming from slavery that we seem not to want to get rid of. I don't understand it. This is a life that you created. Of all people in this world, you should not want to subject your child to any physical harm. Your responsibility as a parent is to protect them. Most cases don't end like this, but they still end up leaving the child with bruises, with pain. That's not something you should want to subject your child to if you truly love your child as much as you claim to. Like, I get this all the time when I do a video like this. Oh, the words spoken of someone who's not even a parent. All these dumbass assumptions. I am a parent. Twice. I've never ever once had to subject them to physical violence as a form of discipline. Not a single time. My boys are very well behaved. They're respectable. They're respectful. They do amazing in school. I'm talking about all A's and B's. I'm not just saying this because they're my children. They're literally doing extremely well. But unfortunately, our black parents don't want to do what's necessary to see those type of results. If you're not willing to do what's necessary to be a good parent, then don't have any children. So many daggone years I've been arguing with my black people. They're trying to justify physical abuse as a form of discipline. And I'm telling them that's not necessary. Why are we so quick to be in denial of something positive? We're not willing to put in the time and effort. We're not willing to demonstrate the necessary patience and everything. We don't really love our children as much as we claim we do, apparently. Another conversation I had, another video that I had, where I was speaking to 2 black women, asking about how long should parents be responsible for their children. I said a lifetime. They and many other black people thought I was crazy. They completely disagreed with me. First of all, let's understand we become the people that we are based on our collective experiences in life. That's a fact. Your children will grow up to be these amazing people if you raise them to be that. You are responsible for the person that they turn out to be. Over the course of more than a decade now, having these conversations with parents, and I've gotten it so many times before, our black parents will respond with this idea, well, I can't control what they do when they finally adults and they move out of my house. Yes, you can. When they are within your house, when they are your responsibility, that's when you control that. Again, how you raise those children, what you instill in them, that will create the type of person they grow up to be. You don't have to worry about your child becoming an adult that's going to do illegal things and turn to drugs. Some people think they did a good job raising their children and wonder why they still turn out bad. You failed somewhere. Do as I say, not as I do. How stupid is that? Your children are going to grow up wondering why it is that my parent is telling me do as they say and not as they do. I see them doing this stuff. We got this destructive ass culture out here. Our black people putting out so much destruction, it's disgusting. Everything, everywhere. Why is it that my parent is doing these things they're telling me not to do? In addition to that, look at social media, look at TV, look at every daggone where. Look at the culture, this destructive, failed ass black culture. They see other people, celebrities and everything. They see them doing that. Why is my parent telling me not to do this, but they do it? Why is my parent telling me not to do this, but everybody else does it? Be the example for your child. That means you're going to have to stop with all these destructive ass TV shows, stop with all this destructive ass music, stop with all this nonsense that is failing our people. Y'all don't want to do that. You would much rather be entertained than to see significant positive change for our people. That really disgusts me. I see our black people riding around in their cars, this disgusting, horrible ass music playing. They got young children in the car with them. There's no need to question where they're getting it from. How does social media, how does the streets, how does all these other things in life have such an effect over my child? You as a parent have the responsibility to do whatever's necessary, understand these things, and find out how it is that you, the parent, can have the greatest influence over that child's life. Figure out why it is these other things have an influence over your child. Such a great influence over your child. I tell you what, the one thing that makes it insanely easy to have the greatest influence over that life that you created is by being the best example yourself. That means you got to quit all this nonsense. You got to stop doing the things that you don't want your child doing. And I'm not talking about just when they're not around. Never do this shit. Don't be that person. Y'all rather continue to entertain this nonsense, this stupidity, this failure and shit. And you have to understand that they are children. They are new to this world. They're going to make mistakes, just like we did. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes more than once. I knew even when I was a little child, I knew something was wrong. I grew up with a mother. My father wasn't around, but I grew up with a mother that would beat the shit out of you for any reason, with anything. Okay? I've been beat with all kind of stuff. People talk about the tortures of a belt or an extension cord, a hanger. I've had all that. I got my ass whooped one time before with a milk crate. I shit you not. I had a mother that was like that. And I knew at a very young age that something was not right. I made a mistake. I spilled the milk. I made a mistake. I didn't drop it on purpose. Why am I getting the shit beat out of me? I knew at a very young age something was wrong. And I see our black mothers out here in public too damn often. In the stores and places everywhere. Cursing at your child, beating your child and everything. Little children, young children. Failing that life that you created. If you don't understand how to correctly parent, you want some guidance on how to correctly parent, talk to me. Talk to me. Reach out to me. We got to turn this shit around. We got to stop with this nonsense, this failure, this destruction of our people. The only thing that physical violence as a form of discipline teaches your children is that it is acceptable to respond with physical violence when you don't get the results that you want. That's the only thing that physical discipline teaches our children, is that it is okay to respond with physical violence when you don't get the results you want. They're going to grow up and take that with them. You want to have this discussion with me? Reach out to me. Let's have this discussion. So what is Louis Farrakhan? So what is some other celebrity or somebody? I'm telling you for a fact that they are wrong if they are justifying physical abuse as a form of discipline to any degree. To any degree. It is wrong. It is not necessary. Uncondition yourself to that shit so we can raise our children correctly. So we can raise our children to be good people, successful people. I've spoke about these things many, many times before in different videos. I'll be speaking about them again. I'm going to keep talking about these things until my people get it right. Until my people understand what is necessary to bring about significant positive change for our people. I'm going to keep talking about it. I'm not like the rest of these damn people out here. The rest of the majority of our black people out here who don't care about you. They don't give a about you. Roland Martin out here laughing and joking about celebrating a time when we had to resort to violence. Why is that funny? He's done that in many other videos before. The little brawl at the port. The recent video he did, the brawl at the port. He was laughing about that. The second anniversary. Why are you celebrating some shit like that? He's done that times before. Where some woman, I think it was like a woman that calls another woman an N-word, and she effed around and found out. And he always joking and laughing about things like that. Why do you think it's funny? Why do you think it's something to celebrate, something to laugh about? The fact that we had to resort to violence. That's not something we should be celebrating. But he and many, many, many of our black people, it's unfortunately a fact. The vast majority of our black people are putting a whole bunch of destruction and nonsense, stupidity out here. And we black people are eating that shit up. We calling it entertainment. Stop being entertained by this shit. It is failing us. You're in denial about what I'm saying? Join me in discussion about it. Join me in a discussion. I welcome you. But just in case somebody wants to join me in discussion about it, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share this video, like this video. Hit that notification bell so you get notification when I post my videos having these discussions with these people. It's time for us to bring about significant positive difference for us. If you truly care, then subscribe to change. Subscribe to being better people.